We have one more, and as you know, this is being videotaped, as the superintendent said. These are going to be seen by thousands of people. There was one slight hiccup because one person wasn't so sure about the videotaping because he was afraid that Elon Musk might steal his idea once he saw it online. We are going to take a look at the future, and we'll see someone who's going to put us on track to something that we haven't seen before. We're going to see what the future can be from the projected mind and the engineering diagrams of Adam Zabel from Golden Hill Elementary. Give it up for Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam Zabel from Golden Hill School, and I'm here to say that there's a common misconception among people that all things that are new are bad. Buildings, cars, transit systems, they're all deemed bad for no reason. My project is here to shine the light on the things people missed, the things that may have changed the world if people would only change their mind. So remember, don't fear the future, and you'll realize that when I'm done with my project. So, my project involves solar technology. You've probably heard of it. Solar buildings, maybe your home is solar powered. Solar cars. What about a solar train? That's my project. So here's my plan: to research solar technology and maybe make new discoveries in the field, to make a high-speed all-solar train concept and develop a train line from LA to Phoenix. So the past and future of railroading. The overview is that trains connected our country. And that's kind of what I want to bring back. Planes just don't have that same kind of vibe. So trains connected our country, and I want to keep that going with this. So issues to improve on. Just like earlier this month, that was an issue to improve on. The crash in Washington, the expensive disaster with the 2-week-old engine, that. This train will have lots of new technology features. I'll explain more in the next slide. And also, hopefully it will have a digital override in that if the driver loses control, the office building controlling, they can take control. So this train is safe and smart. So this train features positive train control, which is a system of the train with satellites, switches, and buildings that track the train and track accidents and other hazards to make sure the train is safe. And crash energy management system is a system of crumple zones and different stages and technologies that make sure that the train is safe in an accident, so that if you have, if it hits driver's cab, that's a stage 4 crash. If it only hits the front, that's like a stage 1 crash. So here's how solar technology works. So light hits a silicon semiconductor, causing electrons to flow. That power goes through wires to a power inverter. Before that, it's DC. Now it's AC. That charges a battery. Now Suntrain has 2 batteries, so that if one battery is charged, the other will start charging. So then you have a more feasible run time, and it's all around better. So how do the internals of Suntrain work? So each car has its own propulsion system. So due to my calculations, yes, it will be a high-speed train. So if each car is going 50 miles an hour, that builds up speed and you have a very high-speed train, causing only about a 2.5-hour trip. The big chart that says Suntrain, that's implemented onto a standard electric train, but with an awesome design. I'll get more to that later. So how do electric trains work? Well, here's a diagram. So electric trains work by having a metal arm on top of the train that gets power from wires, and that's what powers the train, the electricity. Then it goes through very complicated internals, and that's kind of what we would get rid of because there's no electromagnets and diesel converters or whatever. It's just solar power. So what kind of train would this be? What amenities would it have? So the conceptual fare structure would be highly competitive with airlines. It would have about $50 to $70. A flight from LA to Phoenix is $64, not including parking. So the design would be appealing to everyone. It would be somewhat of the older train down at the bottom because it would appeal to people who like that design and who like riding that sort of train. But then it would also be like the Pacific Surfliner business class, and it would be all glass because everything is glass. I think that's just a stable design. And the amenities would be that of the Pacific Surfliner business class. I would say free magazines, nice windows, that sort of thing. And definitely free Wi-Fi. radar impacts Wi-Fi on planes, and even if you do have Wi-Fi, it's $8, according to Southwest, and I quote. So how will this compete with airlines? So it will have much faster service. With a plane, awesome, it's a 1-hour trip, but you have to arrive at the airport 2 hours early. You need to suffer delays, most likely. There's almost never when planes are exactly on time. I mean, like 1-2 minutes, give or take an hour. And then you have driving, rental car, parking, luggage, all that sort of stuff. It adds up to a 5-hour plane ride. This will have less cost. So with planes, sometimes they raise their prices because it burns through a lot of fuel, just like rocket ships. So until the sun starts charging for electricity, they will still be free, and we're not charging from a company. It's our own train. It's not like installed or anything. So that will cut costs a lot, and that will help reduce cost of travel as well. And no hassle of driving. Valley Metro in Phoenix and LA Metro are both world accredited systems that go everywhere, that connect to where we're going. So that's perfect. And it would be more eco-friendly. It's not burning fossil fuels and leaving trails and all that sort of stuff that harms the environment. So the route and schedule. So the route would go from LA to Phoenix with no stops. Conceptually, we may add stops to help serve a more pinpointed audience, but the fare would still stay the same. So my point is, don't fear the future. Like back in the day, a lot of things seemed like stuff from sci-fi movies. Cell phones that can fit in your pocket, and now they can't, but still, all those things that would have been crazy back then, but now they're a reality, and we use them like every second of our lives. So if all of you, don't fear the future, you may come up with something that changes the world. I'm Adams Bell, and thank you for coming, and have a great night.